What's next week's episode?
Oh, next week, you know what? Finally, after all this time, the nerd has reviewed the game back in 2006, and now finally on the channel we're going to review. Now, this movie was probably the Mortal Kombat movie you always wanted. I don't think there's anything to complain about with this one, and it's a lot better than The Journey Begins.
Shang Tsung.
Yeah. Yeah, no, when we were reviewing that and I said the whole thing about like I want to remake it and everything, I don't have to. And I'm really glad because this is seriously like what the movie was supposed to be, I feel like.
Yeah, yeah. I said as soon as I saw it, I think this is the best attempt to take the first game story and make it into like a narrative.
Yeah.
Because as much as I love the 95 movie, we all love the 95 movie, it's not the best script. There's a lot of confusing things in it, and Scorpion and Sub-Zero get the shaft in that movie.
Yeah, they do. Like, that is one thing that's like, I guess when I went to see that in theaters, I wanted to see more Scorpion and Sub-Zero. I didn't. Yeah. I don't know if I like this better than... I don't know if I really want to put myself out there. But I liked this definitely on the same level as the original. In terms of the script,
I think this has the best script of any Mortal Kombat movie. The rules are more clear and defined than the 95 movie, where it just seems like everything was happening. I don't understand how that tournament worked.
Yeah.
And really, I kind of just wish this movie was a little longer and had a few more one-on-one fights. But I love this. I thought this was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so too. It's basically like it's your basic plot for Mortal Kombat. It's you know, there's a tournament it's basically Enter the Dragon, except with like a supernatural like hell, you know, outer world, you know, different realm going on where like the whole the Earth is like going to die or whatever.
Yeah, it's going to be merged with Outworld.
Outworld, yeah.
Because we lost 9 tournaments in a row, and this is the 10th tournament.
Yeah.
So you got to win 10. But yeah, so James, what did you think about the very opening of this film?
Well, it begins with Daffy Duck, if you're talking about that.
Get over here!
Which was great. I didn't expect that at all, because it begins with the WB logo, and then Daffy Duck is like, woo, and then Scorpion comes out like, get over here!
I watch a lot of Warner Brothers animation stuff, like the DC animated stuff, and from my memory, they never do anything like that.
No.
So it was weird that this more adult-oriented cartoon that they're pandering to adults that's like very hard R opens with Daffy Duck. I was not... This is probably the only time you'll see Daffy Duck in an R-rated film.
I kind of wanted to see him get a fatality.
You wanted to see him get a fatality?
Like, see, like, Scorpion pull the mask off and just roast Daffy Duck.
I mean, he grabbed him. I wish he did the harpoon.
Yeah, it would have been... Could you imagine if you just see the harpoon digging into Daffy Duck and he gets ripped, like blood sprays?
And it's like an X-ray. So you said it's basically the story from the first game, but this movie focuses mostly on Scorpion's origin.
Yeah.
It kind of glosses through the other characters. It kind of speeds it up, but it really focuses on Scorpion. And I'm okay with that because Scorpion had no fucking story in the other movies.
And he's the coolest, I feel like, in
he is the coolest. You know? And then Sub-Zero's origin is not really mentioned, but that's because of the twist at the end. So I was fine with that. So it was nice to see Scorpion get more attention, and I really like that.
But yeah, I was kind of fumbling through it, but basically it's the basic Mortal Kombat plot, which is cool because in most of these video game movies, it always seems like if the game's been out for decades, they always feel like, oh, well, we can't do the basic story. We got to make it like where it's like in present day New York City or something. Like they just got to like the Sonic movie. It's like, oh, we got to take Sonic out of his world and put it into... Like, I like that this was just the game and no bullshit. Also, the gore. If you wanted gore, this has got it. I mean, it is gory as fuck. They have all these slow motion X-ray kills going on.
Yeah.
The only slight criticism, and very slight, is just that it's more like new Mortal Kombat. It's more like the newest Mortal Kombat with all the X-ray kills, but like... there's not a lot of like old school kills in it, but
well, Well, you get the spine rip. You get
yeah.
multiple people's spine getting ripped out.
You do have that, yeah. It does just seem a little modernized, is what I'm saying. It's not really like classic Mortal Kombat, but it's still, it delivers all the gore, and the sound effects when people are getting killed is great.
It's so satisfying to finally see gore in a Mortal Kombat film, because they never show it.
And that never bothered me with this one. Like I felt like I saw gore in my imagination when I was watching. I don't know, because I was a lot younger when this came out. I don't think if this was rated R, I don't think I would have been allowed to see it in the theater. So I'm glad.
Yeah, well, the only thing that's like really super gory in the original is when the guy explodes.
Yeah, but he's frozen.
He's frozen, so there's no like blood. It's all kind of contained.
Yeah.
But even still, that part when I saw it, I was like, I was like, holy shit. But with this, like, it's because when Mortal Kombat first came out, they were aiming it at us.
Yeah.
But now we're 30.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, cool. All the kids that we were aiming it at as kids are now old, and we can just go insane with it. Like they finally are. It's kind of like, I feel like Mortal Kombat's the only thing that really aimed at its demographic the right way. They're not sitting there trying to get new fans. Yeah. They're not going like, oh, well, we need to make it for the kids now.
No.
They're going, no, we need to keep the people that have been liking it since the 90s, and in turn, you're going to get new fans that way, because it's cool, you know?
Well, I think the reason this is made, the new games are doing really well.
Yeah.
They just released a new game, Mortal Kombat 11. And they're currently...
The DLC just came out, like, yesterday.
Yes. And they're currently filming a live-action Mortal Kombat movie that comes out next year, or it's supposed to come out next year. So I think they're, like, putting this out just to have something in between the new game and the new movie.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, if that new movie is even remotely like this, I'm gonna love it.
Yeah.
Like, it really needs to take some notes from this movie.
Oh, no, they did every... You know what I hope, though?
What?
So, the only thing is, and not to get on another G.I. Joe kick...
Oh, my God!
But G.I. Joe Resolute was awesome. And it was an animated G.I. Joe thing that came out right before the live-action G.I. Joe movie. That was not awesome.
Oh, so
I really hope
to
God that they don't make this awesome movie and then we get a poopy Weenie Hut movie that comes out next year. But I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I noticed in the voice cast was Kevin Michael Richardson, who was the voice of Goro in the '95 film, along with Frank Welker, who also did parts of the voice, like when he's growling or whatever, I think. But the actor in the suit in the '95 one was Tom Woodruff Jr.
From Studio ADI.
Wait, he was the voice of Goro in this one?
Yeah, Kevin Michael Richardson came back as Goro.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Kind of like the guy who does Shang Tsung came back for the web series, and he's in the new game.
He's in the game.
So they bring people back a lot.
Johnny Cage, I didn't know this was always part of the plot, but that he thinks he's on a movie set, because he's a Hollywood actor, and he thinks the whole Mortal Kombat tournament is just a movie being filmed. So it's kind of like the plot of The Three Amigos. I'm surprised that Nicolas Cage hasn't yet voiced Johnny Cage.
Yeah, I'm surprised too, because he finally did Superman 2 years ago, and he was supposed to be Superman in the 90s, and they finally got him for that. Joel McHale did Johnny Cage. Joel McHale's really funny.
He's a guy from Community, right?
Yeah, he's from Community and whatnot. But James, I was going to say, if you want to see a good live-action Johnny Cage, were you aware of the Mortal Kombat Legacy web series? It ran for like 2 seasons.
Oh, I was vaguely aware of it. No, I didn't see it.
Well, season 1, Johnny Cage kind of sucks. It's a stuntman. He's a good stuntman, but I wasn't really into him. Season 2, they got Casper Van Dien from Starship Troopers to be Johnny Cage, and he does a great Johnny Cage.
Yeah, he really looked the part.
Yeah, he looked the part. He acted the part really well. But Joel McHale did really good in this movie.
Yeah.
And I want to say, like, they are working stuff from later games into this.
Yeah, I was going to say Mortal Kombat 9 was where Johnny Cage thought he was in a movie the whole time, I guess.
Man, I love those blades. My producer has got to meet you. We're doing Tommy Scissorfists.
Congratulations, Mr. Cage. Now, finish him!
Yeah.
And I guess they brought that over into this.
But yeah, they work in some characters from later games in small parts. Like who is it? Nintara,
yeah, Nintara, the vampire girl.
Yeah, Johnny Cage has a scene with the vampire girl.
She was in Deadly Alliance, and I think that's other than Armageddon, but that's the only other game she was in.
Mataro has a cameo or something that's like a Mataro,
basically,
the Baraka and stuff. But the biggest thing is they're building up Shinnok.
Yeah,
who's I guess going to be the Thanos in this universe, kind of like he was in the games.
He's been in prison for a reason, Quan Chi. Your sad devotion to the mad god Shinnok makes you as pathetic as he is.
So they're like, they haven't really brought Shao Kahn yet, and they're already teasing Shinnok. So I like that it's leaving doors open for multiple sequels.
It's too bad that they didn't get the guy from The Journey Begins with the baseball cap and the glasses and the weird shoulder pad who always stands like this the entire time, or 50-year-old Ned Flanders karate man in the background. They didn't get those guys in. I honestly, I feel like with this movie, like where you said it could have been longer, I think it was because first off, this is the first one they're doing. They don't know if it's going to be a success or if it's going to be like whatever. So they're kind of like, look, we'll get you this movie. But I think whatever the next one's, that's what I'm excited for.
Yeah.
When they really start like getting into the mythology of it, bringing in the other characters and they go further with the story. But I have no complaints. Like you said, James, like I literally watched this. I thought it was like balls to the wall. Like it was awesome. I have zero complaints. This is the movie that young... 90s Kieran would have killed to see. Like I would have shit my pants.
Yeah.
If I saw this in the 90s, my head would have exploded. Like it would have, it would have been too much. It would have been too much if I saw it back then.
When I was a kid, I jumped from the Spawn movie to the Spawn animated series, and that blew my mind. I'm like, oh my god, he's ripping people apart and shit, like eviscerating them. But yeah, so I only have a few complaints about this movie. One, there's too many eye stabbings and eye injuries, so 0 stars.
Yeah,
that's my new rating system. If there's an eye injury, it gets a 0 stars. And two, I like how Kano was used in this, where he's not part of the... Like, Shang Tsung is using his army to fuck with the tournament, because Shang Tsung, like, legally can't do it himself. But I wish there was a little bit more Kano. I'm glad... So, the Kano in the first movie was so good... that he changed Kano in the game, so every Kano has been Australian since.
Yeah.
Like, because he wasn't Australian in the original
No,
games.
he was just, I mean, he didn't even really have any sort of, like...
Yeah. Was there a heart ripping at all, or no?
I don't think he heart ripped in this, no.
No, I mean, but there was, like, so many other things.
Yes. But Kano is one of my favorite characters. I was him for Halloween once and everything, and so I was annoyed that he kind of got downplayed in this. And I was annoyed he didn't have, like, a longer one-on-one fight with Sonya. Yeah. And then he gets killed by Jax, which I thought was lame. So that was really my only complaint, was just how Kano was used. But everything else was so great. Like, they work in references, like, really organically.
Yeah, no, they did a good job.
Like, they even do the test your might. I don't think that's been done in a Mortal Kombat movie yet, where they're, like, chopping the...
Yeah, and it wasn't like they call attention to it. It's just in there, and you're like, oh! Like...
Yeah, like, Sonya does her kiss after killing Reptile. I'm like, all right, that's a cute reference. Johnny Cage says toasty because he blows up the thing. So, yeah, there were some really good references. It's respectful to the source material, and... Yeah, I think we all really enjoyed it. James, any final words on it?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, what can you say? It's...
Yeah.
I mean,
and let's hope to God the new movie is something like this.
Yeah. Well, I got one for you. What's your favorite death in the whole movie?
Oh, my favorite death? I'm glad. I think this is the first movie where Scorpion actually uses his harpoon and it's effective.
Oh, okay.
And it's not a dumbass snake, because that really bothered me.
Oh man, yeah.
So when he like the Black Dragon guy, there's one point where his harpoon goes through 3 guys' heads.
Yeah.
And then he like rips all their spines out. That was awesome.
That was cool.
What's your favorite kill?
I mean, other than like the ending one, I would say Goro.
Oh,
getting his like skull ripped out and like through his face where he was just skin. Yeah. I thought that was amazing.
And I like what I said earlier about like the rules. I like how he interfered with that fight. Yeah. So it didn't count, and they were like, all right, Scorpion, you now represent Outworld. Let's start again.
Yeah.
Whereas in the original movie, he's like, I choose you. No, you choose me just because I said so. Oh, I guess I choose you now. Anyway, James, what was your favorite kill or the most memorable kill?
It's not really a unique kill, but it's because it happens like 20 times in the movie, but it's whenever they do the X-ray of the skull. And the thing is, ever since Riki-Oh, have you ever seen Riki-Oh?
Oh, yeah.
We brought it up on the show before, yeah.
Ever since Riccio, that skull shot is always, it never gets old, you know?
What's next week's episode?
Oh, next week, you know what? Finally, after all this time, the nerd has reviewed the game, Top Gun, back in 2006. And now, finally, on the channel, we're going to review Top Gun.
Yes.
Oh, shit.